Hey, ladies and gents, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really do appreciate your time. To me, this issue has really, probably opened the eyes of the men that call themselves passport bros. This issue concerning Floyd. If the other situations that passport bros have been involved in hadn't opened their eyes, this absolutely should. There have been passport bros that have been robbed, sent to fatality, placed into a spirit of being under the influence of pharmaceuticals, right? We know that Floyd Wallace Jr. has been arrested in Brazil. He's been accused of committing awful crimes and interactions with underage children. We know that he called himself a passport bro. If you read the article from the Brazilian media outlet, that I will put a link to it in the comment section or description box, they said that Floyd, in his commentary, in his videos, refers to himself as a passport bro and lets it be known that he's involved in sex tourism. They've confiscated items from Floyd. So here's what this video or commentary that I am doing is about. It is about grown men not knowing when they are placing themselves in a certain category by way of what they say, what they record and upload online, the conversations that they are having. It seems to me that some of these men may be willfully ignorant or really don't know how they've categorized themselves. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Listen, this is an educational conversation. I do not advocate for bullying or violence or dangerous acts to happen to anyone or any group. This is interesting to me because I do have a relative that is younger than myself, but had issues achieving financially in the way that he wanted to, as well as having access to women in the way that he wanted to, right? He had even problems just conversing in a way that was not seen as awkward, cringy, or unattractive. With that said, Floyd Wallace Jr., the accused, I believe he will have his day in court and will be found guilty. I believe he did what he's accused of. That's just what I believe. Not only Floyd, but other men that fall under this umbrella of men that call themselves passport bros. Some of the men that call themselves passport bros have distanced themselves away from it or have said they're not a passport bro anymore. But coming on the World Wide Web and complaining about women in your ethnic group or women in your country, because with the passport bros, from the videos I saw, the complaint was first against Black women, Black American women. Then it became modern women. Then it became just Western women. At first, these men used to compare Black women to other women here in the United States, letting it be known that Black women aren't a favorable woman to date or their preference, right? It went from that to modern women and Western women. Many of these men discovered a passport that you could actually fly and visit other nations. They were able to obtain a passport. Once many of these men, including Floyd Wallace Jr., obtained the passport and made their way into other nations like the Philippines, Thailand, the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil, just different nations. They discussed it, and in their discussion online, they let it be known that there were a lot of women, that the women weren't like American women, that the women were attractive, that the women were easy to get, with intimately or in a sexual way. Again, this is educational purposes. They let it be known. They came online, talked about how many women they had hooked up with, how easy it is to do. They encouraged other black men to do the same thing, to leave America and hook up with the women. They talked about how easy that was. Some of them even talked about dating the women. Most of the time, they talked about how financially easy it was and that the women weren't a challenge and weren't financially secure. The women weren't financially secure. Many of these nations are nations that we consider still developing. They've not reached, they're still reaching these nations to become economically more stable for their people. Now, it's dumb if these grown men did not know, having the conversation that I described, going into detail more than what I did, filming women in these countries, focusing on specific body parts, hips, buttock, breasts, conversing about the bodies of these women online, giving descriptions of how successful they've been in these nations and their goal of going there and why they are going there definitely points to sex tourism. That is what it's called, what they were describing and uploading online themselves is in the category of sex tourism. I'm shocked that many of them seem to not know that that is what it is. Now, this is not to say that that type of tourism has not existed for a long time and in the past, and that non-black men participate in the same activities. We've heard about this, many of us heard about this type of tourism. They were dumb enough to give their little group a name and put their face to it. They put their face on the activity. Yes, they did. They did that, these passport bros. And Floyd was someone who definitely described, uploaded, recorded, and voiced who he was and what he was doing when he went to these foreign countries. He just did not include this situation with underage people. Of course not. It is strange to many of us that these men do not know whenever they show up to some underdeveloped nation where women might not have independence or might not have the financial circumstance that will allow them to be more selective or choosy, or I don't know what the words are. These guys should know when they show up and people find out that they are American. Maybe they even mention passport bros while filming with these women. They mention that name, that phrase. Maybe other people that aren't in the filming hear them. They are automatically looked at as sexual tourists. And it is strange to many of us that it seems in the conversations that are taking place now surrounding Floyd Wallace's awful behavior, according to the accusations, allegedly, he did this awful thing that he's been arrested for, allegedly. Some of the conversations might need to not be had by these men that associated with Floyd or are part or were part of the passport bros, because it's kind of giving no wisdom at all, regardless of the age of these men that are having these conversations. Just my thoughts, social nurse.